What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Amateur Moto Show. I'm your host, Derrick Darby. We got a cool one for you today. As I say that every time, but I feel like these episodes just get cooler and cooler with the people that we bring on. As most of you know, Supercross has started. Round 4 just concluded a few days ago in Glendale, but it was round 1 of SMX Next. And today's guest is Landon Hartz, who finished P3 at SMX Next. Landon Hartz. What's up, dude?
What's going on, guys?
Well,
Oh man.
congratulations, first of all, on the P3 finish. Had the lead a couple times, up in second, ended up in third. Still a pretty badass result there. So, Landon, thanks for coming on, man. How's it feel?
Man, it feels good. Like you said, I had the lead for a little bit. It would have been cool if I could have hung on to that, but it was
Sure.
cool considering the whole day and how everything played out. It was a great night, man. It was an awesome experience, and I'm just pumped to end up on the box.
Yeah, dude, that's so dope. We'll get into that a little bit. But before we jump into SMX Next, man, let's talk about your amateur motocross journey. I know you're from Alabama, but where did moto begin for you?
Well, my dad always rode. He raced. He ended up racing woods, and so that's what I started doing. I was a woods rider at first, which is funny, and then I ended up transferring over to moto, and man, honestly, I've just built up over the years. I was road train. I didn't even train. I went to school up until about seventh, eighth grade. So really didn't get to train that much. Was just kind of one of the weekend warriors and was coming up. I'd go to Loretta's finally. Was starting to do better each year, but was never anywhere near, not even top 15, honestly. And like we were pumped for top 10s, top 15s and stuff. And then was finally starting to train every day and then started to make a little breakthrough and was able to sign with the EBR and really come through and now starting to show what I'm capable of.
Yeah, did you at what size bike did you start? Did you start on a P Dub or did you wait a little bit to hop on a bike or?
I believe I started on Honda 50. Yeah, well, Honda 50. I'll never forget that. I had training wheels. I had everything. I hated the training wheels.
Yeah, the training wheel, man. That's being a moto dad. I'm in some of these Facebook groups on Facebook, like moto dad groups, and people ask about training wheels all the time, and I don't know, they just seem more dangerous to me than what good they do. I feel like you probably just spend a little bit more time learning how to ride the bike in a pasture and take those wheels off, but
Right.
I don't know. That's just me. All right, so started on a little CRF 50 run in the woods. At what age did you switch to moto?
I don't know, probably around like
Oh,
six,
so
maybe.
it's still very early.
Yeah, it was still very early. I was on 50s, so it was
Yeah.
pretty early.
Do you still ride any woods or no?
I do actually. There's a little wood series that's in Alabama, and it's actually pretty big. It's called SECA, and the last one I did was the week before Minios, actually. I went and did it.
That's awesome. Does your dad still ride?
He does every now and then. He has some back problems, so it kind of keeps him off the bike, but he definitely still
Yeah.
enjoys it. We live on some property, so every now and then I can get him on one of my other bikes and drag him out there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Shout out to mom and dad, dude. That's dope. Does mom ride at all, or does she just have heart attacks watching you?
No, she just has the heart attacks watching me. We've
Yeah,
tried. We've tried. We can't even get her on a pit bike.
I I've tried to get my wife on a I don't ride either. I'm physically disabled, so I can't. I probably could ride, but it would just not be very safe for me. Just handling the bike, having the strength to handle the bike. But I talked my wife into a mom's moto race one time.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god, dude. It was scary. She looped out on the start and then almost fell on the bike on the chain of the bike. Oh, dude, it was nerve wracking. But I don't blame mom for just wanting to hang out and
Oh, for sure. She
watch the
says that's
sun.
your job. She'll just support.
So weekend warrior. How long did it take you to qualify for Loretta's when you started racing?
Ooh. I believe I qualified it was on a 65 the first time, and it
Oh,
was in
cool.
2016. That's what I
It's
remember. I think it was 7 and 9, maybe. or 10 to 11, one of those two. It was cool. I got in by the skin of my teeth, honestly. I got in at the last regional and I got sixth. Um, it was cool though. We were all pumped. We were all happy. And what's funny is I ended up going to Loretta's that year, and I actually quit for 2 years after that. So it was kind of like it's kind of
What?
weird. It was funny though. Yeah, yes,
So
sir.
let's talk about that. Why did you end up quitting?
I don't know. We were moving. We were in the midst of moving and building a house, and I don't know. I was just burnt out of it. I spent that whole month, like the whole months prior to Loretta's, just training and working hard, and didn't do very good at Loretta's. I believe you can go
Sure.
back and look. I think I got 30th. It just was not good, and I was just kind of burnt out of it. I was at a young age working hard at it and wasn't doing
Yeah.
very good.
That's tough. At that age, it's hard to comprehend that just qualifying for Loretta's is a great feat. Not a lot of kids get that opportunity, but even then, it's hard to have the mind frame of you want to win. We go to Loretta's, we want to win. Yeah, obviously, we're there for the experience and to have a good time, but for the competitors, it's hard to put that aside and not get bummed out not get bummed out about a bad result. So
Right, for
two,
sure.
two, 2 years off the bike. What made you get back into it?
Well, I probably ride once every 3 weeks, maybe a couple times every couple weeks, and man, I don't know. We finally got the house built, and we were situated and everything. And one day I just texted him. I was like, I think I want to ride again, Dad. Like, I think I want to race. He was at work, and I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days later, he sends me a picture. I was at my grandmother's house. I'll never forget it. He sends me a picture, and it's a brand new 85 in the back of the truck. I was like, oh yeah, we're back.
Oh yeah, I bet. I'm sure Dad was excited to get that text. Was he bummed whenever you decided that you wanted to step away?
He was definitely bummed. We all were. Nothing was really the same, but at the same time, like I said, we were moving and doing everything, so we were busy enough to like kind of keep our mind off of
Be
everything. But
distracted.
but it was definitely
Yeah.
we were like, yeah, we're back in it now.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. Obviously, you made the right decision to come back. So, um, let's go. Let's talk about local racing. Well, obviously, you're probably not doing a lot of local racing these days, but whenever before signing with EBR and Altus and all that stuff, were you doing a lot of local racing, or what were you up to?
I was doing a good bit. I used to do a lot of local racing on like 85 super minis and stuff. On 125s, I ended up I did a year of 125, and then I moved to MTF, and I started training at Millsap's training facility, and I was there
Yep.
for a little over 2 years. So that kind of took me away from a lot of the local racing, but when I'm able to, I definitely love to go. When I was younger, that's all I did. Um, but now that I'm older, I enjoy it more. I like going to more of them because I don't get the chance to go to them as much. So they're good. They're good. I definitely like them, and I try to go when I can.
When did it start to click for you? So you take a couple years off, you come back on the 85. Um, were you back at the top immediately, or at what point did you start seeing the results?
Well, 2018 we went to Minio's and I got hurt, and then in 2019 I went to Loretta's. That was my first year back at Loretta since 2016. I believe I got 22nd in both classes, so I didn't do that great. And then I ended up going to Super Mini for 2020, and that's when COVID and everything hit. So we went online, and I was able to train a little bit more for like just riding because I was not having to be in school because of COVID and
Right.
stuff. And so I was I went to MTF, I believe, 2 months before Loretta's that year. And that was kind of like my first breakout year a little bit. We went and I ended up getting two top tens in Super Mini that year, so we were pretty pumped. That was kind of like my first breakthrough moment
Nice.
for results.
Cool, man. And then let's see, 2024. I know you had a pretty good year at Minio's. At Minio's, at least you took home 5 of 6 championships. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Three in Supercross, 2 in MX, and then top 5. Was it a P5?
Yes, sir. It was a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And then you did how many SMX, or I guess last year it was Supercross Futures versus SMX Next this year. How many rounds did you race of Futures last year?
We only did one, and it
One,
was in
right?
Foxborough.
Foxborough,
I did Foxborough, and that was it.
and that was a P8 finish, right?
Yes, sir.
I think. Yeah, yeah, cool, man. What was what are you doing to prepare yourself for SMX Next?
I feel like with Supercross, it's a lot of mental. I mean, there is definitely a lot of physical. You got to ride it a lot. You got to do everything. And I've been past month at Moto Sandbox with Brandon Hartraft, training, working really hard with them. And I don't know. I feel like going into a lot of these rounds, it's a lot of mental. You have massive crowds. I mean, Glendale's a huge stadium, and yet you have massive crowds. So I feel like it's a lot of mental side, just being comfortable, being confident, knowing you belong up there.
What are you doing mentally to prepare yourself? Do you have a mental coach, or is it just something that you're doing on your own?
I don't. It's something that I'm kind of doing on my own. Riding at Sandbox has been really beneficial because I've had bigger guys like Levi Kitchen there
Yeah,
and Ken Roxon and Savachi and stuff, and people like that to ride with. So that definitely helps a lot. When you're riding with Kenny and you're not very far off of him, and then you go and he wins the races on the weekend and holds the red plate. So
yeah,
that's pretty good for me mentally.
yeah. And then obviously they have a Supercross track out there. Um, what was it like training on the Supercross track, and then actually being on the Supercross track?
They have two Supercross tracks at Sandbox, and they're both pretty good. They're both completely different soils, so it's good. You get the best of both worlds.
Sure,
They build them really good out there, so they're actually really to spec when it comes to rhythms and stuff. But I don't know that there's much that can compare you to Glendale or prepare you for Glendale when it comes to hard pack. That was my biggest thing. The track, the rhythms were pretty accurate, but the dirt was just super hard and firm.
yeah. How did you compare Supercross Futures last year, where you were last year to where you are this year?
Well, I feel like last year when I was coming into Futures, we prepared a good bit. I was at MTF at Millsaps last year training for Supercross, and I was riding really well. I came in really good, but I feel like my downfall last year was I just didn't have as much experience being up front. Not even with Supercross, just in general. My results
Sure.
just weren't quite as good um, in the amateur ranks and everything. And so now that I've had a year of building amateur wise, just Loretta's and Spring Nationals and Minios and Ponca and all that different stuff, I've been able to run up front and get some championships under my belt. So it's more comfortable being up there, and it's not as big of a deal having that many eyes on you.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Okay, so let's talk about EBR and Altus. What has that opportunity been like for you? How long have you been with EBR and Altus, and what's that opportunity been like for you?
EBR and Altus has done a lot. They've done a lot for me, and I'm super appreciative. I've been with them 2 years, going on three now, I believe. I did 1 year on 125 with them, and I did a year of B class on 250 with them, and they were great. Just right out of the gate, they were super helpful. Took me in like I was their own family, and man, it's good. The bikes are good. Everything's great. I mean, the kits are sick. He always has the bikes looking good, and it's just given a lot of opportunity. It's opened up a lot. The ins and outs with the Yamaha and everything. You know, if I don't know if I didn't have them, it would be significantly harder to get into SMX Next and to
Right.
have the bike that I have now. If I didn't have a more factory based bike like this, then I'm not sure that I could be able to do as good.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be to be awesome to have that support. Just having that support in your corner has got to take a little bit of the stress off, so that going to the track or going to the races that you're going to have a solid team behind you and you're going to have a solid bike to help get you in the front. Obviously, it helped you in Glendale. What do you have coming up next? We're getting ready. Are you racing the other SMX next rounds? Or
That's the plan for right now. I have the remaining four SMX next rounds. I know the next one is Daytona in about 3 weeks. after that, I'll do the Daytona Amateur Day, and then not too sure about the Spring Nationals yet, the Freestone and Springeting, but
Hmm.
after those, then there's the Birmingham and the remaining two rounds.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, so we're gonna do. I'm gonna do some off-topic conversation here. So, outside of motocross, what are some things that pique your interest? Do you fish, golf, anything like that?
Not really, honestly. I feel like a lot of moto kids golf. I don't know, that's something I haven't really gotten into yet. Honestly, I keep myself pretty busy. Moto keeps me pretty busy to where I don't have too much time. Um, Honestly, I'm into trucks. I have a truck. I do a lot of stuff to it. I do that and really whatever else I can do, you know. I don't really golf or anything though. That's something I haven't gotten into yet. I need
Do,
to get into the golfing world.
I think golf is such a great sport. You don't really, at a younger age, I think you guys see golf as a boring sport because you ride dirt bikes for a living, basically. And then
Right.
you go out to a quiet place, you're swinging a stick at a ball in a hole that's 450 yards away. But it's such a great sport mentally because, like racing, it's just you, right? You don't have a team to focus on. You hit a bad shot, you have to immediately recover from it, just as if case something. You can't just sit there and sulk. You have to move on quickly and not let it bother you. It's also a great escape for me. I don't know. I really enjoy golf. I was talking to Aiden Steinbrecher not long ago, and he's golfing. He does snowboarding and stuff like that, but I don't think you're getting a lot of snow in Alabama to do
Not
any
at all.
snowboarding.
Not
Do you watch any other sports? Basketball, football, baseball, anything like that?
I do. My mom's big into football. She's a big football watcher, college football, everything. She's been
I
watching basketball lately, so
I
I
know.
definitely when I'm free, I'd be watching both of those. I watch football, basketball, and I do actually watch golf. I haven't necessarily gotten into it, but the older I've gotten, the more I've enjoyed watching it. I do enjoy it.
Yeah. Um, Fuck. Was it? You just said something. I was about to ask you about it. What were you just talking about?
Probably my
Golf.
mom.
Oh, okay.
Mom, yeah.
All right. So being in Alabama, does that mean mom is an Alabama fan? Are we rolling Tide or rolling with somebody else?
Dude, she's actually War Eagle. We
War
grew up.
Eagle, Auburn. Okay.
I know it's funny. So me and my dad have always been Alabama fans, and my mom and my sister were Auburn fans. Well, now my sister is in medical school at Auburn, or she was at medical school in Auburn. So we've all kind of had to transfer to Auburn a little bit, but they're like diehard Auburn fans.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm not much of an Alabama fan myself. I respect Alabama for how prestigious that program is with Nick Saban and such, but definitely not a real Tide fan. I'm a Texas A&M guy myself, but cool, dude.
I don't even
Um,
really watch football enough for it to really matter for me. I'm not like, I'm not the biggest football fan. I'm not like, oh
yeah.
my gosh, we have to win, die hard or anything. But if I have
I
some free
used
time, I'll watch.
I used to be a big sports guy. So I was actually director of baseball operations at a Division II school here in Texas, and I was always a ball sport team sports guy. And then my son got into racing, and I've become less of a fan of team sports and more of a fan of like the individual players.
Right.
Just because I can't stand now. Like I watch you guys. You know, you crash your bike, you flip twice, the bike lands on top of you, you get up and you pick the bike up and you get back on your way. And then you watch these pro guys that are like flopping all over the field, trying to get a foul, acting like they're hurt. I'm
Right.
like, I just cannot deal with this anymore, dude.
Right. Flop and
Racing has
stop the
ruined
play.
me, but no, that's cool. Well, let's thank some sponsors, Landon, who's helping you out on the track.
Oh yeah, the whole EBR Performance Altus Motorsports team. Like I said, they're like a family to me. They back me 100%. I couldn't do it without them. One Industries, Heat Wave, Arai, EVS, Bill's Pipes, the SKDA, just just everybody, Dunlop, just everybody behind me. My mom, my dad, especially, just everyone else.
Landon, thank you so much for coming on, dude. I really do appreciate it. I know that you've been driving for the past 3 days, and today is your first full day back at home. So I really appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. I had a great time talking, and I really appreciate you having me on.
Well, after the next round of SMX Next, and you get back on the podium, we'll have you back on.
Yeah, heck yeah, that sounds good. Hopefully see y'all then.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I really do appreciate it. It sounds corny to say, but if you did enjoy the interview today, make sure to hit that like. Consider commenting and sharing with your friends. It really does mean a lot for us for a newly growing page. We'll see you next time.